Unveiling the Shadows, 10 mind-bending MS-13 rituals that defy logic. Brace yourself for a spine-chilling journey into the forbidden world of the infamous MS-13 gang. From bone-chilling ceremonies to enigmatic rites, this captivating expose will leave you in awe and disbelief. Buckle up, it's about to get bizarre. Welcome to the Crime Files, and today we are talking about 10 bizarre rituals within the MS-13 gang. Now, the content of this video might be unsettling for a few viewers. You have been warned. Let's begin. First off, we have prospects must commit murder. Both men and women are known to be interested in joining MS-13. Once inside, they often fulfill a variety of functions. The majority of women within this criminal organization are usually used in drug trafficking and/or as sexual objects, while the men are usually seen fighting on the front lines. It takes more than showing some identification, paying a processing fee, and receiving a membership card to join this criminal organization. In most instances, in order to become a homeboy, these prospectors, also known as Chikeos, must murder a member of a rival gang. They occasionally have to murder a random stranger as well. In any case, would-be MS-13 members must violently murder someone. That is a lot of bloodshed when you consider that the organization has an estimated 70,000 members worldwide. Next, we have machetes over guns. To shoot someone from a distance, or even up close for that matter, requires adequate balls. Members of MS-13 don't always prefer to be so impersonal, and they don't usually want their enemies to die quickly and painlessly. Members of MS-13 are urged to carry machetes rather than firearms. In garages and metal businesses, many members manufacture their own machetes. They will slash their victims and cut off various appendages, frequently causing protracted, agonizing deaths. In a sense, the machete is their calling card, since it instills a great deal of dread in people. However, this does not mean that they never use firearms, as they did in Honduras 2 days before Christmas in 2004. Gang members sprayed a bus with bullets, killing 28 passengers and injuring 14. Most of the victims were women and children. Next is initiation of men. A well-known aspect of joining a team is hazing. Even though the practice has been frowned upon for some time now, joining a professional sports team or even a college fraternity usually entails some form of hazing. It's one thing to have to put up with a somewhat humiliating but overall harmless ritual like having to run through a crowd naked or having to pay a hefty dinner bill. It's quite another to have to put up with a violent beating from your new buddies. Prospects for MS-13 are subjugated to such a brutal beating known as a jump-in, in which they are brutally pummeled. Even so, acceptance is not assured. If it is thought that you didn't take it like a man, then you won't be granted membership. As we have already discussed the initiation of men, it's time for us to move on to the initiation of women. Although women are offered an option, female prospects must also go through an initiation process. The woman has two options. She can endure the same horrific jump-in as their male counterpart, or she can submit to a sex-in, during which over a dozen gang members can have their way with her until they are satisfied. It goes without saying that even if they choose the latter, there is a strong likelihood that the ceremony will turn violent. Women who opt to be sexed in are typically treated with less respect and have lower stature within the group than those who chose to be beaten like the men. With all this violence, I don't think I am fit for the job. But do you think you are fit for it? If you believe so, then do hit the subscribe button so we could just recommend you directly. Next up is worshipping Satan. It makes sense that an organization that engages in such wicked and evil actions would worship Satan. The notorious gang is known for performing ritualistic human sacrifices. MS-13 members have only recently been accused of many homicides. A 15-year-old girl who had questioned her kidnapper's religious convictions while they were at a satanic shrine was amongst the victims of one of the alleged killings in which they were involved. Before being shot numerous times at close range and thrown in the middle of the road, she may have been tortured, but who knows? According to rumors, members have engaged in demonic rituals where they entered a trance and obtained superhuman powers, as well as used Ouija boards to gather information. The internet is rife with stories of MS-13 members participating in satanic rituals in which teenagers are sacrificed. Now, this one might trigger a few people, but it is what it is. Next is, women are treated like property. There are a few ways, as was previously indicated, for women to join the gang. They may be jumped in or sexed in. While those who are jumped in acquire a better position, the girls who are sexed in are typically reduced to being sex objects for gang members. Even those who are jumped in have lower status than their male counterparts, and they frequently end up as the sole property of a male member. This implies that he is free to treat her any way he pleases. He is able to pimp her out, rape her, and beat her. Although she might not experience sexual assault from other gang members, she's not shielded from cruel treatment. Despite this, there is no shortage of women that are willing to live such a brutal existence. Now we have killing to get respect. It's not all easy sailing once you officially join MS-13, even if you managed your jump in and killed 1 or 2 members of a rival gang in the process. That's only the start. Gang members must continuously demonstrate their MS-13 membership worthiness. Clique leaders frequently kill rival gang members and even innocent unrelated people without a known motive. There are, of course, a few valid explanations for why they do this. They get a lot of respect inside the group as a result to start. Second, it instills dread in their subordinates while also making it plain to their competitors that they are vulnerable to being slain for no reason at any time. MS-13's violence and merciless reputation makes it a lot easier for them to go about conducting their business and controlling their turf. Next is, failure to back your homeboy means death. The MS-13 Code of Conduct states that you must always have your friends back. If you don't aid your fellow gang members when they need it, you're one of the living dead. This rule comes with the harshest penalties. Those who violate this rule are pursued and executed ruthlessly. You had best make sure to assist if one of your homeboys is engaged in combat with a rival. In a massive turf war, the absence of only one gang member can make or break a clique's entire existence. Obviously, the worst way to not have your friends back is to inform the police about other MS-13 gang members. Many members have met a terrifying and gruesome end for turning on the group. Next is the most horrifying and dreadful of them all: paperwork. We all know that in government buildings and other businesses around the world, bureaucracy rules supreme. Even though it seems as though everything must have a paper trail nowadays, you might be surprised to hear that MS-13's organizational structure includes documentation. Assume that a clique's leader, or palabrero, observes that another palabrero isn't managing his territory as he should be and that this is having a negative impact on the overall gang. He can then complete some papers explaining the issue and recommending fixes. The application is then delivered to the Council of 9, who oversee the entire business from their headquarters in El Salvador. The Council may then authorize action if it recognizes a problem and approves of a proposed remedy. The Council can also order an alternative resolution which must be complied with. At last, the final and most unsettling thing is, never make false claims against your homie. Levying charges against a fellow MS-13 member without any supporting proof is one guaranteed way for an MS-13 member to dig his own or her own grave. One of the 10 most frightening MS-13 rituals is the killing of a member for false accusations made against another. It would be simple for one member to openly accuse another of a significant offense in a culture where power struggles exist in order to win leadership's favor and advance in the organization. The Council of 9, however, is aware of this scheme and has imposed the death sentence on those who engage in it. Using this policy to address such an issue is quite beneficial. Even if you know it to be true, you better keep your mouth shut unless you have solid proof. These were some of the most horrifying things that an MS-13 member has to do. It's not easy, and there are even more things that are more terrifying than this. Do you want to know more about these things? Then click on this video. We'll see you there.